This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Tuesday, the 17th of September. I'm Michael Groff. Wild weather across the valley last night, especially on the west side. They had damaging winds in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour and heavy rain, 1.25 inches out in the Buckeye area. But in typical monsoon fashion, some spots saw nothing. And of course, the question is that it for the monsoon here in 2019? A very lackluster one, if that is indeed the case. Let's see what's in the future. First, we'll start out by looking at the almanac from yesterday. 99 degrees the high in the valley. 77 was the low. That occurred as the storms moved through last evening. And officially at Sky Harbor Airport, just 0.02 of an inch of rain, bringing our monsoon total to 0.43 hundredths for the season. And that still counts as the second driest on record. Outside right now here at 8:15 a.m. We've got mostly clear skies out there. 79 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 61. Humidity 54%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. Temperatures out there right now. 65 at Fort McDowell. That's the cool spot. 75 in Goldfield. 73 up on Thompson Peak. Many spots still in the 70s. A couple spots creeping into the low 80s. The upper air analysis across the country, that's the trough that brought about our active weather yesterday. It is well north of Arizona, moving through the Intermountain West. A drier westerly flow behind it, and so that will mean an end to our precipitation chances for quite a while around here. And the watch warning map is pretty quiet too. Some flash flood watches, parts of the Texas coastal plain. Some red flag warnings here in the west as the trough moves through and windy conditions lead to higher fire danger there. Convective outlook for today, a couple of marginal risk zones up across parts of eastern Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Minnesota, and the tropics still active in the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf. We've got a little wave out there in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. It might develop before it moves on shore. Probably not, though. It's going to bring some heavy rain, though, to parts of the Texas and Louisiana coast. We've got Humberto, that's still out there, moving out to sea off the east coast of the United States, pulling away from land. The only threat that it may pose is to Bermuda. This could still become a major hurricane as it's over the warmer waters for a time here out over the next few days. And then behind it, we've got another wave here. This is now a tropical depression. This is TD number 10. And the National Hurricane Center does expect this to intensify over the next several days as it passes, looks like north of the islands, north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. It is expected to make more of a northerly jaunt, though. This may not impact the Bahamas. Let's hope not. They don't need anything else there. And looking at some of the modeling on this, that's what the GFS ensemble says. The ensemble mean is the black line. It makes a pretty hard right turn before it gets to the Bahamas. In fact, as it gets north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, it makes a very hard right there. And most of the models seem to agree on that, but it's still very early in the process, so we'll have to keep an eye on that situation. All right, back here across the southwest, the precipitation outlook valid through next Tuesday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts here in Metro Phoenix, maybe a little bit of something. Certainly some heavier totals along the southern border, the southeastern portion of our state. Why is that? Well, there's a little bit of uncertainty in our forecast way out toward the end of the period. We'll get into that now as we take a look at the models. Check it out, the GFS, the 06Z run valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. There's our trough moving out across the northern Rockies, another one approaching the Pacific Northwest coast. So down at the surface, we'll have mostly sunny conditions. Humid this morning, but the humidity levels should come down as we go through the day. High temperatures this afternoon, mid and upper 90s. Tonight, clear skies, a drier air mass, lows in the 70s. And then tomorrow, sunny skies and highs in the upper 90s to near 100. On Thursday, that trough passes north of Arizona. A little bit of moisture may get pulled into eastern Arizona for isolated showers and thunderstorms over the White Mountains, the eastern rim perhaps, but here in the valley, we're going to stay dry. It will be breezy, though, at times. High temperatures mid to upper 90s, and much drier air will be coming in behind this trough, and that's going to help temperatures cool off nicely. Thursday night, Friday morning, you'll be waking up to lows in the mid-60s in the cooler pockets, near 70 in the urban core. That'll feel nice and refreshing. High temperatures mid-90s. Saturday, a few clouds, otherwise mostly sunny. High temperatures mid to upper 90s. On Sunday, we're partly cloudy. Highs upper 90s to near 100. Starts to get interesting, though. The GFS is showing a pretty potent trough moving onto the west coast. That may start to close off into an upper low, at least on this solution. And it's got a tropical system beginning to move up the west coast. And that gets a bit more interesting on Monday. GFS has that tropical system nearing the central Baja coast and the closed low beginning to move into the Great Basin. And that would set up a southerly flow here across Arizona. Plenty of tropical moisture moving northward. Scattered showers and thunderstorms would be the result over the state. But again, this is pretty far out. Forecasting closed lows and tropical systems this far in advance, there's really no need to do it. This is just one model that's on the table. Going out to a week from today. This is Tuesday, the 24th. The GFS has that low now moving out of Nevada into Utah and pulling plenty of moisture into Arizona. Good dynamics would be in place. Continued chances of showers and storms. Look at the precipitable water coming off the GFS next Tuesday. In excess of 2 inches here in southern Arizona. And so we'd have heavy rain in this scenario. But again, I caution you, this is a week out now. Let's take a look at the European at the same time. This is, again, next Tuesday, the 24th. It's got a deep upper low just on the Southern California coast. It does not show a tropical system, but the result would be similar in the sense that we would see quite a bit of tropical moisture pulled northward into Arizona. Some rain, heavy at times, would still be possible, especially over the higher terrain. But even here in the valley, we could see scattered to numerous showers and storms. But again, we're not going to put any mention of rain in our forecast just yet. We'd like to see some more consistency on the models before we get into that. But remember, this is pretty close to the time of the year last year when Rosa affected us here in the Southwest. So it's always something worth keeping an eye on. All right, going back to the GFS for the end of the forecast period, this is Thursday the 26th, a shortwave ridge building in, and that looks fairly dry with seasonal temperatures. Let's take a look at the precipitation coming off of the European ensemble. Now, the ensemble mean, that's the green line there, somewhere between about 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch, but look at the latest deterministic model. That's the dark line there. That's well over 2.5 inches of rain. Again, I don't think we're going to see that kind of rain here in the valley. It is doubtful that we'll see anything at all, but still, we'll have to watch future model trends and see if we still get that upper low and that tropical system interacting with us here in the Southwest. All right, checking out the temperatures through the period, coming off the National Weather Service Best Blend product, and high temperatures mostly staying at or maybe even slightly below average for the next 7 days or so. And those overnight lows mostly in the 70s, and that means the cooler pockets are down in the 60s. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell, share with your friends, your family, your loved ones, the people you hate, whoever. Just share the videos. That way, whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Be safe out there. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys have yourselves a fantastic Tuesday.